Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dwayne. I got a video for that. Kimball, United States Army veteran and retired VA rating specialist. Today's video. You missed your VA compensation and pension exam, also known as C&P exam. What do you need to do next? I am going to break it down for you to ensure you are not that veteran. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, everyone, today's video. You missed your C&P exam? Now what? A lot of veterans have worked really hard to get to this point, and you do not want to screw it up. But life happens. Sometimes we have to cancel our appointments, okay? And there's ways to do it, but when it comes to the VA claims process, you may have to take some extra steps. So I got a few slides for you, but then after those slides, I'm going to give you some examples of what you could be doing if you missed that C&P exam. Slide number one. Here in slide number one, yep, you guessed it. I am taking you back to the VA's manual reference, the M21-1. Now, as in my other videos, I tell people if I'm sharing a M21-1 manual reference or 38 CFR, make sure you go out and you look this up, okay? I'm giving you the number and the name because a lot of these are kind of long, okay? And I may not be able to fit all of them in the slide, but I get the most important information that I am discussing, okay? So this one is definition of good cause. Good cause means a reason that justifies failure to report for a VA examination, okay? VA will generally accept any reason offered by the individual as good cause for failure to report for an exam. Examples. Now, these are only examples. There could be some other reasons. I know I'm gonna get comments, Dwayne, what about this? What about this? Keep in mind, even though this is a reference, what I may think is a good cause, another rater may not think it's a good cause, okay? So examples of a good cause include, but are not limited to, okay? They're telling you this. Illnesses or hospitalization of the claimant or death of an immediate family member, okay? Exception. Good cause is not, and they put that in bold, not established if the claimant fails to provide any reason for failing to report, okay? So towards the end of this video, I'm gonna tell you how to report it, okay? That you're gonna miss that exam. Indicates failure to report was based on general concerns about being exposed to and or contracting an illness while undergoing examination. Or indicates notices of the scheduled examination was not received. I'm gonna talk about that as well. Those are gonna be the what? The nuggets, all right? Slide number two. Another M21-1 manual reference, review of return mail notifying the veteran of a scheduled examination, okay? Now, I'm only gonna read what I have highlighted in red. If a VA medical facility advises that mail notifying a veteran of a scheduled VA examination has been returned because the Postal Service reported the letter was undeliverable at the address provided, review the claims folder to determine whether the mail was erroneously addressed, a more recent address is a record, or a valid address is available from non-VA sources such as the internet or telephone directory system. I can tell you right now, VA employees are not going that far on their third bullet comment. They're on quotas and they're trying to get this stuff out, okay? But before, and I'm gonna talk about this later, but I'm gonna give you a nugget right now. Here's a nugget. If you update your address with VHA, Veterans Healthcare Administration, you have to call the VBA hotline to address, well, call center, I'm sorry, to address or update your address with them. If you update it with VHA, VHA is not gonna call VBA and say, hey, VBA John Doe called us this morning to update their address with us and we're just making sure you got it. They don't do that, okay? I'm gonna talk about that later. Slide number three. Here in slide number three, allegations of non-receipt of scheduling notice, okay? A veteran allegation that notice of a scheduled VA examination was not received is not considered good cause for failure to report, okay? So basically what they're telling you, if you like, hey, I didn't get it, they're gonna be like, nope, that's not good cause. And especially if they look you up in VBMS and they say, this is the address that we have, and you say, oh, that is my old address, it's not their fault. That is on you, okay? If the evidence is available that rebutes the presumption of regulatory, such as the failure of VA to timely update the claimant's address or an assertion that the exam notice was received after the date of the examination, then that evidence must be considered. Okay? Now, what they're saying there is, I'm going to give you an example. Sometimes veterans will receive a letter in the mail saying, hey, you have an exam. But when they look at it, the exam was like a week ago. Okay? So now you have evidence. Make sure you keep that envelope that has a post date on it, a post stamp on it, all right? Say, hey, the date on this is January 20th. The exam was January 5th, okay? So when you all scheduled the exam, this request was still in the mail, okay? It happens. It shouldn't happen, but hey, the VA is not perfect. Now, let's go ahead and get into some nuggets. So for those of you that, well, you may not even see this, but for those individuals that stopped reviewing this video by now, they're not gonna get these nuggets, but you are. Okay, so this is what you do. You do it today, you watch this video, or the next day. You contact 800-827-1000, regardless if you got a claim in or not, 800-827-1000. When you call that number, you want to make sure your address is correct. If it's correct, there's nothing else you need to do. Then you want to go over to VHA, and you can find their number, or you go to your local VA medical center or outpatient office or clinic, and maybe you need to, I don't think you would go to release of information, but maybe eligibility, okay? I would go there and say, hey, I want to make sure you all have my updated address, okay? And update your address. So you got to go to two different locations, VBA and VHA, okay? Let's keep going. Let's just say you are getting ready to file a claim. You want to contact 800-827-1000. Is my address up to date? Let's confirm that. If it's not, you want to confirm it. And then you want to go to the VA's website and get a VA form 21-4138. Put your address on it, watch my video, quick submit, upload it, and you can mail it in, all right? Now, let's just say you filed a claim and you're waiting to get that call from the C&P exam, okay? And something happens. You get hospitalized or you get in a car accident, whatever the case may be, 800-827-1000. This happened, that happened, good cause, I can't report, I'm sick, whatever the case is. You want to put it on a VA form 21-4138, use quick submit, upload it, and mail it along with the evidence showing, hey, I'm in the hospital or whatever it is that constitutes good cause, okay? But last scenario, let's say something out of your control, okay? So VS, QTC, LHI, they say, hey, we need to schedule you for an exam, or we've been trying to schedule you for an exam, something like that, okay? But you're like, wait a minute, my address is already up to date because I watched Dwayne's video, okay? Because I know he got a video on that, all right? And why didn't I receive anything, okay? More than likely, that third-party contractor is going to say, hey, this veteran failed to report. And you know you didn't fail to report because you never got notified. You did confirm that your address is correct. Simple. I'm going to give it to you. 800-827-1000. VES Services stated that they sent something I did not receive, and you're calling the VA call center. I previously contacted your call center on this date. You should have a record of it, okay? And I confirmed that my address was correct. It was correct, and I didn't see anything. Before a decision is made, please ask the VSR or RVSR to schedule or reschedule that examination before they make a decision. You're going to put that same statement on what? A VA Form 21-4138, Statement of Claim. Watch my video on Quick Submit, upload it through Quick Submit, and mail it in. And what should happen at that point, if it lands on the RVSR's desk as ready for decision without that CMP exam, that rater should go ahead and request that exam. Now, I know you're asking, Dwayne, what if they don't and they go ahead and deny the claim? I'm going to give you that nugget. So for those of you that stuck around, you're going to get more nuggets, okay? So they deny the claim saying that you failed to report. You already have a copy of that 21-4138 that you sent in confirming your address. You have the date and time that you called to confirm that your address was correct, okay? And you say, I never received any correspondences, so I checked to confirm that my address was correct. Also, I talked to such and such at VS, QTC, LHI, Optimum, or whoever on this date, because I have it in my notes, and told them, hey, please reschedule this exam because maybe you had an appointment, maybe you had a death in the family, and you had to go to the funeral, fly, or whatever. Now you have evidence. It's not what you say, it's what you can prove. Now you can prove it. The rater totally ignores it, denies the claim. If you decide to do a high-level review, what are you asking for in a high-level review? I missed my CMP exam because of X, Y, and Z. This is what I did to inform the VA. Call, confirm my address, called in to say, hey, I'm not gonna be able to make that exam. Please reschedule. I even sent in a statement of support of claim. Also, I have evidence saying that I talked to this person, I talked to that person, and still the claim was denied without giving me due process for a CMP exam. So therefore, on this high-level review, I am asking you to schedule a CMP exam. Now, they may detail it back, okay, and have the VSC Veterans Service Center office to go ahead and request that exam. It is simple as that. Now, I know a lot of you probably saying, Dwayne, I shouldn't have to do all that. You shouldn't, but it's the VA. It's not always picture perfect, but guess what? Now you know from watching this video. So what to do if you miss your CMP exam? Please do not be that veteran. That being said, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and as always, share this video with your fellow veterans. Thank you.